Welcome to the Leadership Spotlight series. With the acceleration of digital transformation over the last 2 years, the partnership between IT and marketing has become even more critical to driving business outcomes. Here at Akamai, marketing and IT is a true strategic partnership. And today I am so excited to discuss this partnership with Akamai's SVP and CIO, Kate Prouty. Welcome to the Spotlight series, Kate.
Thank you for having me, Kim. I'm very excited to be here.
Kate and I were recently invited as guests on Disrupt TV, hosted by Ray Wang and Vala Aspar. It was such a fun conversation. We wanted to continue the dialogue on this leadership series. So, Kate, let's talk about that relationship between IT and marketing. In my opinion, the relationship between IT and marketing is more important now than ever, given the criticality and sophistication of designing and implementing a revenue technology stack, navigating the challenges of ensuring a trusted and secure technology is selected, and not to mention the need to deliver ROI to the business. So, given all that, it was just a small list. What, in your opinion, makes for a strong relationship between IT and marketing?
Yeah, I mean, I think you said it. It really is that trusted partnership. I mean, I think we both need to trust each other, and we do, and our teams trust each other. And so I think that's really what creates kind of the most effective relationship. As you said, the rev tech landscape is evolving so quickly. I mean, there are new tools
Crazy.
on the market all the time. I mean, it feels like every day something new pops up. And so it really is important that we can partner together and you guys can entrust us to say, hey, is this vendor kind of at the right level to fit into our ecosystem? Do they have the right security posture? Is it a vendor that we think is viable for the future? And so I think again, it's this great trusted partnership where your team is listening to our concerns, we're listening to your needs, and kind of understanding that you need to evolve quickly. You need lots of data. You need to communicate really well, both internally and externally. And so, again, it's all about just the trust and our trust in you guys to do what you do so well, and your trust in us to do what we do so well. So
I
it's great.
love that. I couldn't agree more. I think that the listening is key because we listen to each other, that the trust, the partnership, and that shared strategic vision of what we're trying to do for the business. So thank you. That's why we get along so well, Kate, and our
Yeah,
team.
you said it, another great word, which is shared. I mean, we do, I think that's another thing that's really beautiful about our relationship is the teams come together and we do share the outcome and we share the responsibility. It's not like, hey, this is a marketing project and it's on you guys to figure this out, or this is an IT project and it's on you guys to figure it out. We come together arm in arm, linking arms, and share the outcomes and the success and the bumps and everything else that comes along the way.
So being able to adapt and be agile has become critically important for marketing and IT organizations. That's probably an understatement on the importance. From a tech and leadership standpoint, some say it's at the forefront of driving digital transformation. Do you agree? And how have you led your teams and processes to adapt and pivot?
Yeah, I mean, adaptability really is the name of the game. I mean, I think it's true for technology, and we were clearly put to the test in March of 2020 when we went from a predominantly, sort of in the office workforce to everybody being remote, and there were a lot of things we need to adapt to really quickly from a technology perspective. Not only making sure that we had a really good employee and customer experience with everybody being virtual, but also from a security perspective. I mean, it created some really interesting security challenges for us. And it gave us, this was really a great opportunity for us to really double down on our Akamai. And Akamai program, which is, us using our own services internally and rolling out, fairly quickly things like EAA and Akamai's MFA solutions really set us up for, kind of making it an easier transition. But then, now we're being put to the test yet again as we emerge and we start to deal with the realities of, this new way of working in this new work environment. And, now we're in sort of this hybrid environment, which is almost trickier. I would say really it actually is a lot trickier to have, some folks remote, some folks are in an office. How do you create that really nice experience still when, you're not really on an even playing field? So thinking about technology that will help to sort of create that we're all together in one room feeling. And I will say that, the adaptability component goes beyond just technology. It really is being adaptable with how you lead, how you approach your workforce, the flexibility that you give to your employees and that we've given to our employees. I mean, I think Akamai has done a phenomenal job with our response to, both the pandemic and the way we've emerged from the pandemic. And I think have come out with a really progressive program around our flex space program that just came out, which is really just, being sort of ultimately flexible. And I think, for our employees, they've really appreciated that we're giving them the flexibility to kind of work where it's, most effective for them and allowing people the opportunity to do what they need to do. So I will say, adaptability, if you can't adapt in this world, because, again, I will also say that we probably didn't get everything right and things are going to continue to change. And so we just need to continue to have that open growth mindset, which is again another thing that we are really focused on here at Akamai, which is, having an open mind, having a growth mindset. And so those are things that, every leader needs to be sort of like, taking what worked in the past and moving it aside and really opening their minds to, what's to come.
I love that you bridged from technology to leadership and Akamai's culture. I mean, I'm biased, but I think we have the best culture in the world because we really put our employees first and give them choice. And you said so many rich and meaningful things. I mean, from delivering the right experience to securing our workforce and our customers to giving customers choice, right, in a hybrid environment and all that rapid with the right culture and leadership. So a lot of good takeaways there, Kate, that you shared with our listeners. Thank you. Well, now that we're on a roll, I have another question for you. Ready?
Right. I'm ready. I'm ready.
And this one's, I'm a little biased. This will come across as biased. Can you give us an example of a time when IT and marketing worked together well to accomplish something great?
There's one very obvious one, which is our unveiling of our new Akamai.com website, which was, I think, a perfect marriage of technology, innovation, and business strategy all wrapped together into one. And again, it was a great just partnership of IT allowing marketing to do what they do best and to help develop a really up-leveled, really sophisticated site that embodies who we are as a company. But you guys also allowed us to play our part in terms of making sure that we were doing things again that fit into our ecosystem, that, were secure, that we had a vendor and a solution that was viable for the long term. And it also, again, gave us a great opportunity to showcase our Akamai on Akamai program. I'll bring it up again because we really are using our own products internally. And I think that we used maybe 18 or 19 of our own existing technologies in this huge program. And so it was really exciting. I mean, it was great to see us sort of in action using everything from application delivery to net storage and cloudlets and Kona Site Defender and sort of everything in between. So I think it had an incredibly great outcome. And we've got a beautiful site that's utilizing all of this amazing Akamai technology. And the team, on top of all of that, really worked really well together.
I love that you picked that. Certainly, that was a signature example of a project we worked together. I mean, it's our number one demand gen engine, our digital front door to the world. And I think the way you summarized it was the intersection of technology, innovation, and business strategy, which I really think summarizes how we work together. And best of all, it was in service to our customers. So I thought that was a wonderful example and a good way to finish the business portion of our interview, because now I'm going to pivot over to leadership. I want the audience to get to know you a little bit better. So how about at Akamai, you are one of the executive sponsors for Akamai's Women's Network, which I'm a part of. What advice do you have for women looking to get into leadership roles, or really anybody looking to get into leadership roles? And to add on to that, any advice for work-life balance that you can share? I think something we all struggle with every day.
Yeah. So yeah, I think there's a lot wrapped in up in that, and I think you said it right. I think the advice that I give to women is the same advice that I would give to anyone, really, when it comes to developing your career and building your brand in your career. And that is, there are a couple things. One, I think I tell people to just be yourself. I think there's unfortunately a pressure on people to act a certain way or present themselves in a way that they think everybody else wants them to do, as opposed to just, being comfortable in your own skin, being yourself, showing up as yourself. I think, the other thing I say to people is you really do need to, there's nothing that's going to replace hard work. You got to put in you got to put
Yes.
in hard work. There's no silver bullet. There's no easy answer, really. At the end of the day, it's about hard work, but it's also about being someone that people really enjoy working with and understanding how to negotiate and understanding how to compromise and really figuring out how to get to a place where you sort of can give and get so that the outcome is something that both parties, can be pleased with. It's really important to have an opinion and to have a strong opinion, but it doesn't mean that you need to have a loud voice. So I think having a voice is really important, but you don't need to have a loud voice. You can sort of get your opinion across, have what we would call a healthy debate, but do it in a way that again, you end up with a good end result and everybody's sort of happy at the end. And I think the other thing I often tell people is really have to challenge yourself. You need to raise your hand, take on things that you aren't 100% sure you can actually do, So if you're afraid that you're not quite ready for something, then that means you need to do it. You really need to challenge yourself, raise your hand, take on those projects that, maybe nobody else wants to do because they're really hard. Those are some of the things I would say people need to think about as they're getting into their career. And then I would say, once you become, you sort of get to a place where you're in more of a leadership role, it really is about supporting the people around you and bringing them up and being a mentor and really allowing people the room to kind of make mistakes, allow them some freedom and some flexibility and an ability to learn and grow because, I've learned that you're only as good as the team around you, right? I mean, I wouldn't be where I am without the amazing, talented, incredible people that work so hard. For IT and for this team and for this company. So I think that's something that, as you sort of progress along to really, bring up the people behind you in a really strong way.
You made me think of two of my favorite phrases is one is be uncomfortable till you're comfortable, which you talked about. And when you get to the top, send the elevator back down, right? So you can bring
Yes,
someone else up. So
exactly. Yes.
I, I, I
Yes.
love, I love that and being authentic and enjoying what you do, always learning. I mean, so many words of wisdom there. So on the wisdom, what is your favorite quote? Everybody likes to know someone's favorite quote.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if this is my favorite quote, but it is definitely a quote that really resonates with me. And I stole it from Peloton and I think they stole it from somebody else. But the quote is, if it doesn't challenge you, it won't change you. And so, I think that it's really easy to get complacent and to get comfortable. But if you want to grow and you want to change, you have to challenge yourself.
Oh,
So
love that
that's my
quote.
favorite.
Love that quote. I try to live by that. It's such a good quote. Well, Kate, I cannot thank you enough for joining me today. Such a great conversation. So many words of wisdom that we can all take away. And thank you for being such an incredible partner to marketing and on behalf of Akamai's management, being a great partner to Akamai. I look forward to another chat in the future. And thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much, Kim.